All right. I am so excited for this. So, Kaitlyn and I were both on a call last week, I think, and I got to kind of hear her story a little bit, but I'm really excited to kind of dig in some more and ask her some more questions and figure out how she's gotten to where she is and just get all the tips and stuff from her. So, if you guys have questions as we go, just put them in the chat. We'll try and get to them. But Kaitlyn, if you want to get started and just share your story with us, how did you find it works and where are you now because of it?
Absolutely. Well, hi guys. I'm super excited for tonight and I'm excited to be able to be on here and share a little bit about me with you guys. So, my name is Kaitlyn Reynolds. I'm a triple diamond leader with It Works. And I actually joined this business a little over 5.5 years ago. So, it was back in February of 2016. And the way I actually came across this business opportunity was I was working multiple jobs. So, I was working 3 to 4 jobs. And at the time, I was really, really struggling. I was like lost. Put a one in the chat if you ever felt like, I don't know what my future is for myself. I don't know what my goal is. I don't know what my purpose is for here. For myself, that's how I felt. And I felt so lost. I dropped out of college because I tried college and honestly, I did not enjoy it. I didn't know what I wanted to do. Dropped out. That's why I started working so many jobs. And it got to a point where I was like, you know what? I can't keep doing this. I'm working 6 to 7 days a week, up to 60 hours a week. And I was literally just so exhausted and drained. I'm like, there's got to be something else to life. And I began praying that God would, show me, am I supposed to go back to school? Am I supposed to do a different career path? What am I supposed to do? I don't know what I was supposed to do. But deep down, I knew inside there was more for myself. I knew there was a bigger purpose in my life. And so I actually came across a girl on Facebook and she actually lived. So I live right outside the Charlotte area. Anybody in North Carolina? I think this team's a lot of West Coast, which is super exciting because one of my main leaders actually lives in California. But so I live in North Carolina, and the girl actually, when I went back and I actually found when she sent me a friend request, it was back in November of 2015, and she randomly sent me a friend request. I just saw we had mutual friends. I didn't really think much of it, and I she started interacting on my feed a lot, like starting to build that relationship with me. And I started seeing how she was a stay-at-home mom, how she worked from home, but I didn't think much of it. And one day she out of the blue offered this to me. She was like, hey, I see you're on social media all the time. I think that you'd be good at this, could you use some extra income? And I was like, oh my gosh, yes, like this is so cool. Like I was a workaholic, like any kind of work opportunity, money, I would do it. And she followed up with me for months. It took me from that point, it took me about 2 or 3 months of her consistently following up with me. And the reason I say she followed up with me is because I did leave her on red, but I didn't intentionally leave her on red. I was just super busy. I mean, put a 2 in the chat if you're busy. I was busy. I was constantly like working this job, the dating life. I was also involved with church and all these different things. And I would sometimes open up my phone and forget to respond. And I thank God she followed up with me. And that's a note you want to make sure you take, is make sure to follow up with people, because she finally followed up with me and told me about like a Ruby promotion bonus or something. And I was like, oh my gosh, yeah, I could use an extra $500. So I finally just jumped in because I was like, I have nothing to lose. Like, I love that she shared that it was a Christian, all natural health wellness products, and just sharing that like the company actually cares for you and it's a debt-free company and all these different things. I was like, I'm just going to go for it because I have nothing to lose. And so when I first jumped in, I did not move super fast. It took me, so we actually did a launch party. She actually came to my house, did a launch party about 3 weeks in, and I signed like 3 or 4 customers that day because she was there. And that's when I started getting the belief like, holy crap, this is real. Like, this is super cool. I tried to rap for the first time and my results were insane. I'm like, holy crap, this is so cool. And so that's when I started like getting super excited, was like just seeing that the products actually do work. And so it took me 4 months to go Ruby. And I did it all by myself. My enroller didn't place anything under me. I was just, I wanted Ruby quicker, but I thought posting was asking. And so I did not do a lot of messaging behind the scenes. I was really scared. but at the same time, I was excited. It was like a scared, but I was excited. And so I went Ruby in 4 months, and then I quit one of my jobs. I was like, this is super cool. I'm making some extra income. And then it got to a point where I got super complacent. I had a couple people quit on my team, and that was back when you needed 5 distributors to go Ruby. Now you only need 3. And it was just, it was kind of hard for me. Like I couldn't figure out how to transition into Emerald and Diamond. Even though I wanted it, I just wasn't doing the tasks daily. And so I actually sat at Ruby for 2 years, which is hard to say because literally I don't want anybody on my team to ever do that because, I would be so much further in the company had I not, but I got complacent. I got comfortable. I still posted every single day. I still did the things. I still showed up to Zooms, but I never, took the steps to actually promote again. And it wasn't until I went to conference in 2018. It was the Dark Horse conference. And if you guys were here, that conference and event literally changed my entire life. It gave me the belief that I was worthy of more. And you can actually go on YouTube and you can search it. It Works Conference 2018 Dark Horse. Literally, I watched it today as just like a reminder, and I literally was crying because I remember that moment so vividly. Mark was talking about, he's our CEO. He was talking about how it doesn't matter if you've lost rank. It doesn't matter how low you've hit, because for those 2 years, I was mostly getting paid as a distributor because I struggled with signing distributors. It was one of my weaknesses. And I struggled really, really bad. Like mass enrolling wasn't a thing back then. We didn't have host to post or anything. And so when I was at that conference event and, Mark was speaking to us and I was hearing all these stories of other people, making so much more income and how they were able to be home with their families. And I wanted that so bad. And at the time I was actually dating my high school boyfriend and we were actually talking about marriage. And so I was like, oh my God, like talking about a wedding, like anybody out here been married, weddings are expensive as heck. And so I was like, oh my gosh, so I had my new why, and I left conference so on fire, so excited. And I got back Ruby that month. And then a few months later, that August, it took a while, but finally I mastered signing distributors and I went Diamond in August of 2018. And then 6 months later, went to conference again. And then 25 days later, went double Diamond. Literally my whole world was like, holy crap, this is so amazing. Like I was so excited. But the transition was I watched legit every YouTube video on how to sign distributors. I did all the things. Like I wasn't just being on Zooms soaking in the trainings. I was actually implementing what I learned. And that's the one thing I will tell you guys is whenever you're on trainings or you're learning tips, it's great to be on them and get all the tips and stuff, but you have to implement it or you're not going to get the results that you're looking for. And so I was just literally getting all the resources that I could. And I was just doing everything that top leaders were doing. And also I was seeing over those 2 years and at Ruby, I was seeing my upline, like she was promoting and her upline were promoting. And I'm like, I want to be a part of it. I was having major like FOMO. I'm like, what is going on? And so we went double Diamond. And in that time period, I actually got engaged to the guy. We were excited. We had actually put a down payment on, and this was all It Works money, paying for everything for the most part. It was, we had put a down payment on the venue, a down payment on the photographer, a down payment on my dress, the whole 9 yards. And then a few days later, my then fiance called it quits. I had already put thousands of dollars down, and my life was completely destroyed and turned around. And I was so heartbroken because I was with the guy for almost 7 years. So I was really hurt, and I had to take a couple of days. I told my team like, hey, I need a couple of days, and because of It Works, the people that I've become so close with, they were reaching out to me, making sure I was okay. I've met legit like my best friends through this company, and they were calling me, they were texting me, they were checking in, are you okay? And it was at that point where I had to realize like, you know what, screw you, screw you. I'm hurt, but at the end of the day, I have to, I have to do what's best for myself. And I just decided I don't need a man in my life right now. I'm going to go all in with my business. And that same month was actually the month I enrolled the most amount of distributors I've ever enrolled in my entire business. And I'm changing that this month, but I signed 17 distributors that month because I told myself that I was going to go triple diamond. I was like, my team is worthy of more. I'm worthy of more. I'm ready for, I want to be able to do all the things that I can do that he was holding me back from. And so I just got so laser focused. I had no distractions. And I was so laser focused with my business that month. And so I signed 17 distributors. I was actually announced on one of the family calls. That was one of the top DT enrollers. And I was like, what? This is crazy. Like, I never thought I would be a mass DT enroller. Like, that was never a thing because a couple of years ago, I couldn't even sign one distributor. And now I'm here, signing all these distributors. It's crazy what happens when you do self-development. You have this huge mindset shift, and it was just like the craziest thing. And so we actually were pushing for a triple for a few months, and I think it was in June. We were 3,000 volume shy of triple. And that's basically like, if you're going Ruby, that's like, you're like 50 volume away. Or if you're like a diamond, you're like less than 100 away. We were right there, and it just didn't happen. And I was literally so frustrated. I was like, we worked so freaking hard for this. I mean, I did have a new diamond. I did have a new double. It was just that third leg. I was struggling, but I also had built that entire leg myself. And so it was honestly God's blessing of way of saying, hey, this isn't the team that you're supposed to promote with to triple. And so I had to have a year of growth, to now be triple. But in that time period, I was able to step away from my job. I was like, I'm a double diamond. I make really good money. I hated my job at the time, and I put my notice in. And so I came home, and that was in April of 2019. So I've been home 2.5 years, which is insane. And I literally have said since the beginning of my business, like within a year in, I'm like, I'm going to be home full time one day. And I shouted that into the rooftops on social media. I constantly said I was one day going to be home full time. I can't wait for that day. And then I finally took the steps and actually did it. And then a few months later, I actually purchased my dream car, my Genesis Coupe that's outside. All on my own, went to the car dealership, didn't need a co-signer. It was like the best feeling ever. They were like, dang, your credit score is so high. Like, you could buy a house right now. And I'm like, whoa, that's crazy. Like, cause it wasn't that good like a year ago, and it was because of this business. And, I learned a lot during that time period. And I know Leanne said I can kind of elaborate a little bit on my story, but during that time period when I transitioned to be home full time, I used to work all the time. So transitioning into, coming home full time, I wasn't disciplined. I didn't know, I had so much extra time on my hands during the day that I didn't have those specific times. So when people say, oh, you have more time when you're actually home full time, it's actually harder instead of working full time. When I worked 4 jobs, I literally worked my business 5 minutes here, 5 minutes there on my bathroom breaks, wake up early. I would do this before bed because I knew I had to do it during those times because I knew those were the only times I had it. But then when you're home full time, it's like, oh, I have all this time. It's harder to be disciplined. And so, my business suffered for that. And, I wasn't waking up early. I wasn't, I was just like, yeah, living the life kind of thing. And, I ended up losing rank all the way down to, I was paid as a diamond for a few of those months. And then I dropped down to Ruby in December of 2019. And transitioning from a double diamond paycheck to a Ruby paycheck literally hit me in the gut. And I literally wanted to throw up because I was like, I can't pay my bills. I'm going to have to get out my credit card again. I'm going to have to probably go back to work. And I had to decide in that moment, it's Christmas time and all these different things. It's like, am I really going to let all that hard work I put in and just throw it away and go back to a freaking job? And I told myself I would never go back to a freaking corporate job because I hated when people would tell me when I had to go to work. Like, I want to be in control of my days. I want to be able to travel when I want to. And, one thing I'll share with you guys is my best friend actually got engaged that year, and I missed her proposal because I had to work. Somebody didn't show up to work. I had to work late, and I missed my best friend getting proposed to. And that was like the pivot moment when I told myself that this ain't it. Like, I'm done working here, because I deserve to be able to be there for my friend when I want to. And so that's also what drove me to be able to go all with, be able to quit my job. And so during this time period when I hit Ruby and I saw that $500 paycheck, like, which is fantastic, that's what I joined for, but I knew like I had to pay my bills. And so I put my head down and I was like, I can either sit here or I can, move on. I can, work towards that next goal for myself. And so I put my head down, put my blinders on, got that next chart out. And, I was paid as Ruby for December and January. And then February, I got back diamond. March, I got back diamond. And then April, we actually went triple. So in a matter of 4 months, I was paid a Ruby paycheck, $500, transitioning into triple diamond, income disclosure, that's around $10,000 a month. Like, that's a huge jump. I mean, tell me in the chat, like, would you be excited and ecstatic? Like, could you imagine like transitioning from that? And my whole world was like, holy crap. But I will tell you this, during that time period, I knew that I had a lot of faith and belief within my team. But the reason that we also hit that was because I was so focused on mass DT enrolling as well too. I was like, I need to bring in new people. I need to not just run with the people I currently have. I need more people. I want to help more people. And it's not just about myself. I truly started connecting with my team. I was really, really excited. I was figuring out what their whys were. And, we were just so on fire. And, I was just focusing on that next goal. And, when I actually went triple, so when you go triple, you need a double diamond, a diamond, a diamond. Well, I didn't really have a double diamond at the time. So I actually built my mom. I took my mom from Ruby to double in 1 month, which was insane. It was crazy. I was actually like this close to getting her to diamond the previous month. It just didn't happen. So it was probably like, I think she had maybe like 7,000 or 8,000 volume transitioning into double that month. But I knew I had to take full responsibility of that, because I wasn't going to wait for somebody else to do it. I knew if I wanted this promotion, I had to have my head so focused. And also it was a total God thing too. I will tell you, like, I like prayed so hard that whole entire month, but my belief and my faith was so strong that month. I just knew that it was going to happen that month. And, my group volume actually doubled that month. And I was actually just checking reports yesterday, and I literally started crying because I'm like, oh my gosh, like, my group volume in March was 20,000 GV as a diamond. I was like, the numbers weren't equal, so I wasn't paid as a double. And then the next month it was over 40, like over 20 in 1 month. It literally blows my mind. But when you have a strong why and you're just so excited, it happens. So I know that was like a long story, but hopefully that.
So good, all of it. And honestly, I don't think I have ever met somebody that has a story so similar to mine. Like, I know we've heard, bits and pieces of each other's story, and just the timeline of everything is so, so crazy, because that Dark Horse conference changed my life too. And I went into that as a brand new executive and went diamond just a couple months after you went diamond, went double the same time you went double, and just went triple a few months ago. So it's like we're so similar. And I missed triple the year before in June just by a couple thousand, just like you did. So it's so crazy how similar we are. But a couple things I wanted to just highlight again, in case for the people in the back that didn't hear it. Somebody messaged her and followed up with her. Okay, so if you are scared to message, if you are not reaching out to people, you are possibly leaving a triple diamond out there just hanging out. Somebody that really wants this, somebody that really could use another income, someone that's working 3 jobs and that needs this, and you're too scared to reach out to them. You're crazy. Go reach out to them. Go find your next Kaitlyn, because there's someone else out there. And even when they leave you on red, like she said, she was busy. People are
Mhm.
busy. They open their message while they're giving their kid a bath, or they're driving to from one job to the other, and then they forget to reply to you. And it's nothing against you. It's just they just didn't reply. So do your follow-ups. Don't stop following up with people, because people are going to join at the perfect time, and you're going to be very thankful that you didn't stop. So message her. Someone messaged me also and followed up with me when I ghosted her. And I didn't ghost her because I was busy. I just ghosted her because I was scared. Um, so you just never know. Um, and then you guys, she was at Ruby for 2 years. There's people on here that have been sitting at ranks for a X amount of time. There's people on here that have lost rank, and she talked about losing rank, which was really awesome. Like, honestly, so great to hear, because sometimes we hear these stories like, oh, I went double and then triple, and now we're going Pez, and you're like, wow, your life's perfect. No, it's not, and there's always going to be bumps in the road, and things come at you. And she shared about how she was going to get married, and then that didn't work, and those things are hard, and life happens. And so many times I feel like life happens to people, and you do one of two things. You either throw your business out the window because it's the easiest thing to get rid of, or you turn that negative thing in your life and turn it into something positive with your business. And that's exactly what she did. And it paid off huge. Plus, I'm sure it was a great distraction and something like fun to look forward to during that time. But all of it, everything you said was just so good. So many things I can relate to. I'm sure others can relate as well. And you're just so honest and vulnerable, which I really, really appreciate that. But so you talked about how you became a mass enroller. You weren't in the beginning, and now you are. And same with me. I wasn't in the beginning. I had to figure that out. But I want you to kind of dig in. Let's just start with customers. Like, how are you bringing in customers? What's your systems with that?
Okay, so you guys probably have heard this like a million times, but if you're not doing host post, literally that is like a major gold mine. Like it host post is like a 3-in-1 or like a 5-in-1. Like it helps you grow your market. That's actually what helped me max out my friends list because I felt like I was running out of people. And so do host post. Also, make sure that you are using the products as well. And so, if you do not have products on hand, you guys, ever since I first joined, I have had a product in my hands ever since I first joined. I had an auto shipment running as I don't think I did one my first month, but I did do one because I got my shopping spree. But I did run an auto shipment as early as my second month. Like I just knew it was a non-negotiable. Like you can't expect somebody to buy something from you if you're not using it yourself. And you're more excited if you're actually using the product yourself as well too. And I know for myself, like real quick in the chat, I want to know what you guys' like favorite product is because I'm like legit obsessed with this new skinny cold brew. Like, holy crap, it's so good. Like, I'll drink it like 2 or 3 times a day. It's just so good. But, using the products, sharing it in your stories, and you don't even have to be super salesy, like at all. When you're posting your stories, just literally talk in your stories and like just make it and just be like, yeah, you guys, I'm making my coffee and I'm so excited because this coffee helps me lose weight. Oh my gosh, this coffee helps me have energy, all the things. And, when I actually first joined, obviously I was working a million jobs. We didn't have the coffee then. So what I used back then was the greens. I used the greens all the time. And I talked about how it gave me energy because legit between my jobs, I mean, imagine working multiple, you guys, I literally don't even know how I did it. Like I worked like 3 jobs in one day. Sometimes I would have to wake up so early and, work and then drive to another job. And I would literally try and squeeze in like quick power naps because I was so tired all the time. And so I would talk about how the greens were giving me energy. And I don't even think we had stories back then, but I posted about it all the time, how it was giving me energy and just talk about how the products make you feel is like huge because I will tell you when I first joined, like when I first joined, obviously we probably all posted horribly. I posted really bad. I would just post like random photos. Like it was horrible. It was like a sales ad. And my enroller was like, girlfriend, like, don't do that. Like you want to share you using it. So like if you have your drink, take a picture of you holding it or, talk about how excited you are. Or, for instance, when we first got the gummies, I didn't share this part of my story, but last year, actually during quarantine, or during the whole COVID thing, or like right before that, I actually met my now fiance, the love of my life. We actually met at church, and it was like a total God thing, like how that orchestrated. And during quarantine, we actually started dating the day of quarantine, which is really funny. But now we're actually engaged and going to be getting married this coming March. But the reason I'm bringing him up is he's obsessed with the products as well too. So get your spouses or significant others on the products. When we first came out with the gummies, he loves food. Okay, he loves food, he loves gummies, all the things. And obviously during quarantine, during COVID and all this crap, a lot of people have gained weight. And so he was actually wanting to lose a little bit of weight because he was on unemployment. And so obviously he wasn't working, and he has a really like heavy, hard labor job. So he's always really in shape. But during that time period, he was gaining weight, and he got on the gummies. He dropped 5 pounds in a week. And so I was sharing that with all my people, like on my stories. When I was talking to potential customers about the gummies from Gummies Host to Post, I would tell them, like, they'll be like, does this really work? I'll be like, yeah, girl, like my fiance or my boyfriend at the time, he lost 5 pounds in a week on it, just taking 4 a day, blah, 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 like all these things, like, and voice messaging people and letting them know like your excitement, like, and actually, I'm actually talking to a girl right now because I'm doing rap post to post, and this girl was asking so many questions about it. And so I just voice messaged her, like telling her more about it. And I had such excitement. And right afterwards, she messaged me. She's like, oh my gosh, you have me so excited. Like, how much? Like, how can I get my hands on it? You have to share that excitement. So host a post. And if you say host post doesn't work, it does work if you are consistent with it, because I am living proof. Host to post is what took me from to diamond. It's what took me to double. It's what took me to triple. And now working towards Prez. And my team uses it. And I will tell you guys this too. My brand new distributor that just signed last week, she has signed 8 customers in less than a week from host to post, and also just, posting about how excited she's wanting to use the products. So even if you don't have the products yet, maybe you're new, talk about how you're so excited to try the product. How, oh my gosh, I've seen all these other results. Like, I'm so excited to try this. And also when you're using the products, share your progress. So if you're on a weight loss journey, or even if you're not on a weight loss journey, get on the skincare, you guys. The skincare is so good. Like, my skin has never looked better because of the skincare line. It's amazing. And people are looking for a healthy swap as well too, for their skin, or, we have something for everyone. So find a product you love, just share it everywhere, and message the people that view your stories, offer them the products. Hey, I saw you've been viewing my stories. I'm actually looking for a few product testers. Are you open, to some info? I've signed so many customers that way. So host a post, posting about the products, you using them, other people using it, sharing results, and also messaging people that view your stories as well, and following up is what I would say for customers.
Perfect. That is everything that we teach here too. So it just shows that it really does work. It's not just Leanne's thing, it works. It really works.
Yep.
Do you mind sharing? You don't have to share the exact thing, but you said you do wrap post to post. Is that like your go-to product one right now?
Yes. Okay. So this is actually really funny. So it was a total God thing. And this was back in, I think, May. My gut feeling was, I was like, I have my team Zoom this coming week. And my heart was like, I had this one girl. I was like, I don't know. I had never really talked to her before, but something was just like, she actually helps host one of the journaling Zooms. And something in my gut was saying, Kaitlyn, you need to reach out to her and see if you can get her on a Zoom. And I kid you guys not, I got her on my team Zoom, and she gave so much info. But the one thing I got out of it at the very end was, she was like, yeah, we're doing wrap post to post. And I'm like, hold up, tell me about this. And I started implementing it. I wanted to personally use it before I shared it with my team, because I wanted to make sure if it actually works. I started signing customers out of the wazoo, like on the spot. So many customers, pick 3s, pick 4s, all the things. And I was like, and everybody on the team was like, whoa, what is Kaitlyn doing? This is crazy. And I'm like, you guys, this wrap post to post. I got this from another leader. And now the entire team, like our entire like ambassador diamond team, like everybody uses it. And so I can actually share it in the chat as well too, or I can share it with you, Leanne. But like legit, you guys, it is a gold mine. There's actually a girl on our team, not in my personal downline, she's a sister, but she actually went. She took her boyfriend's account to diamond in 90 days, mainly from rap post to post. And so use it. Literally, and that's how I actually signed a customer on the spot yesterday. I sent her pricing, ready to order, ready to order, ready to order, or I'll follow up with them within the next day. So make sure that for host to post, you do follow up with people within like 24 hours. That's how me and my team are signing so many customers as well. It's just fast follow up, because obviously if they're interested, they're going to order. So yeah.
Love it. We had Ashley Clark on our Zoom last week, and she said the same thing, rap post to post. And
yep. She's
yeah,
actually we both have the same ambassador. So yep, I preached it to the entire team. I was like, oh my gosh, you guys, you need it.
yeah, she said that too. And I was like, what, really? So, funny thing, after I got off that Zoom, I was like, I'm just going to post it on my page
Yeah.
first and just see what happens. Holy crap, did it blow up? I signed probably 10 customers month in, just wraps, and I haven't sold wraps in years.
Yeah.
And I'm like blown away. So I'm like implementing that as well, because especially after you do host to post for so long, you've had a lot of people posting for you multiple times. I've never done a wrap post to post. So everyone on my friends list can get a wrap post to post
Yeah.
now. I can ask every single person to post again and give them that, and it's something new and different. So I'm so excited about this. So a question or a problem, I guess, that a lot of people have, especially when they first start host to post and like start the business, is they just don't have a big network. And so they run out of people really quickly, or they're getting the same people commenting on like their giveaway posts. So what is your advice to those people?
Okay, so first of all, you have to grow your network. And I actually ran into this issue with one of my downlines. I was actually just on a Zoom a little bit earlier with a couple of my leaders, and they said that their newbie was struggling with growing their network. They felt like they were running out of people. And so what I told her is, what you have to do is you have to massively focus on growing your network like crazy. Like, of course, I would add maybe like 15, 20 people in the morning, 15, 20 people in the afternoon, 15, 20 people in the evening, literally every single day. And then what I'm also implementing with my team is make sure they are all doing the giveaway host to post. If you only have maybe like 100, 200, 300 friends, what you need to do is you need to have every single person do a giveaway host to post. And I can actually share the one that I just started doing. It's working amazing. I can put it in the chat. Of course, we're doing a target giveaway, so you can change it to whatever giveaway you're doing. But this one is working so good. So good. And just have a bunch of those people do the giveaway host to post. And then, of course, when people are starting to comment on it, what I do is I do not add every single person that comments on it, because you're going to run into probably getting blocked on Facebook, because if you do add too many people in a short period of time, Facebook's going to flag you and they're going to be like, what are you doing? And so what I personally do is whenever I have somebody do a giveaway host to post for me, they're going to start getting a ton of comments. And so what I do is for each comment, I'll love their comment and I'll reply just saying, add me, message me giveaway to confirm entry. And so the people that legit want an entry, they're all going to send me a message that says giveaway. They're going to send me a friend request and then I'll accept them. And once they message me saying giveaway, I'll let them know, like, thank you for commenting on so-and-so's post about the giveaway. All you have to do to finalize your entry is just go ahead and post this on your page real quick. And then I'm having them post about, like rap post to post or gummies host to post. But that's how you can massively, like, it's kind of like a 3-in-1, like you're growing your network, but you're also getting more host to post up that way. And you're getting more potentials that way too. So I would mainly have them only focus on giveaway host posts for at least a couple days, get like 5, 10 of those up. And then you're going to start getting so many comments and then all those people. So that would be my advice.
Perfect. That's my advice too, but it's always good to hear other people say it, because sometimes you need someone else to tell you,
Yep.
like, go do this. You just need to grow your network, and that's just what's holding you back, which is totally fixable, right? It doesn't mean you're not going to be good at this. It just means you just need more friends and you can do that. And the giveaway host to posts are exactly how I maxed out on my friends list very quickly.
Yeah.
As soon as I started host to post, I did a ton of those and I maxed out so quickly. So, and that's a good problem to have. So, I
Yeah.
love it. Thank you for all the host to post tips. So, let's move into distributors. How do you enroll distributors?
All right, you guys. So I keep it simple. There's a couple different ways that I do. Now, my best tip is real quick, put a 3 in the chat if you're going after a promotion and you want to sign a lot of distributors. Like, go ahead and let me know. If you are up for a promotion, you need to make sure you're putting that on social media. And so every single time I'm going after a promotion, this is exactly what I do. And this is what actually in the beginning helped me sign a lot of distributors to go diamond, because at that point, when I was actually going diamond, you needed 24 distributors. Now you only need, I think, 14. And so I knew I had to sign like 10 plus distributors. And so here's my best advice. Make sure you write this down. Whenever you're going for a promotion, make a post that says something like, I have a huge announcement coming soon. Stay tuned to my page. Or like, I'm so excited. I have something new coming. Stay tuned to my page. And all these people, and a lot of people actually do this when they first join, but you also want to do this when you're going after a huge promotion. You're about to have a huge announcement and you're going to get a lot of feedback. I mean, not everybody might have a lot of feedback, but people are going to be curious. They're going to be like, what is this chick doing? And then the next day, what I encourage you guys to do is you're going to make a post, have a really good photo of you, and you're going to make a post that says, it could be you or your family, but you want to post about, all right, here's my huge news. This is it. You know, this month we're going to be hitting this promotion. We're going to be going ruby. We're going to be going diamond, whatever promotion it is, and talk about what that extra income is going to do. And so like, for instance, like when I went diamond, or when I was going diamond, when I claimed it, I was far away, you guys. I was really, really far away. But I said, all right, you guys, I'm so excited. I'm going to be going diamond this month. And I'm so excited. You know, this extra income is going to be helping me be able to open up a savings account. And I'm just so excited. And, you know, I just talked about what it was going to do for me. And I also talked about my struggles. And I talked about how, you know, I know what it's like to struggle. And, you know, and that's why I've decided to open up X amount of positions. So depending on how many spots you need on your promotion, so whether it be 3, 5, 6, 10, whatever it is, let people know I have this many positions available. So I basically say, you know, like, I know what it's like to struggle. And so that's why I've decided to open up X amount of positions to help these people be able to bring in an extra income to help their families be able to not have to stress so much. If interested, comment me or message me opportunity for more info. And so I do that every single time I'm going after a promotion, every single time. I tell my team to do the exact same thing, and this is what helps. Now, what you also want to do too is you may or may not start to get messages right away. And so I just want to kind of give you guys that heads up. When I first started doing call to action, I didn't always get messages, but I've been consistent over time. So, and you never know, like, you might make this post like tomorrow, and like 3 days later, you might have somebody that messages you randomly opportunity. It happens all the time to me. Like, I'll just randomly get a message that says opportunity. And so you want to make sure, of course, you post it with the income disclosure and everything as well. But what you also want to do is you want to make sure you're messaging every single person that likes your business post, as well as your lifestyle post. And this has been a big thing for me and my team. And this is actually something I did when I first joined as well, but I wasn't super consistent with it until now. I'm very consistent with it. So even if you make a lifestyle post, because let's be real, your business posts are probably not going to get as many interaction as a regular lifestyle post. So if you have a date night or your kids or whatever, and you get like a ton of likes on that, you need to go message all those people. Message every single person that likes your business post, that likes your lifestyle post on both Facebook and Instagram. And what you basically, I mean, and I can send the message to Leanne that I use, but I literally just let them know, like, I see you're like liking all my photos, I'm just basically asking them, like, could you by chance use some extra income, or something super simple like that. And a lot of the times they're like, oh, I didn't know I could do that. Like, sure, I'd be open to more info. So you want to make sure you're messaging everybody that likes your post. And then also what you want to do too is you want to make sure that you are also doing DT host posts as well too. Helps a lot. I can share my DT host post that's been working really, really good. I just got a couple of my newbies starting to do it, and they're already getting a lot of potential distributors. So DT host post is really good. Another thing you want to do too is you want to make sure you are reaching out to people. And this is something I did not do in the beginning. You can actually go to your Facebook or Instagram and you can switch it from earliest to newest and go through those people. And if you would want them on your team and they've been on your feed for a while, go ahead and like a couple of their posts and just reach out to them randomly. And I actually came up with this message like 2.5 years ago, and I can send it to you guys. But it says something like, "Hey, I know this is super random, but I just felt it on my heart. I had to reach out. Could you by chance use some extra income? Not sure if you could use extra income or not," or something super simple like that. You'd be surprised how many people are like, "Yeah, like I could use some extra income." And even if they say no, offer them host posts. No worries. In the meanwhile, would you be willing to, or would you like an entry into my giveaway? All you have to do is just post this. And so, those are my main things. And then also another thing too that I like to do is, of course, make sure you're following up with people. So if you talk to a potential distributor and they're really interested, make sure you do follow up within probably like 24 hours or so. And then I might back it up to a couple days, maybe to a week, that sort of thing. But I mean, do you want me to go into my DT convo, or what all would you like me to share?
If you want to send it to me and then I can share it with everybody, that way we can talk about some other things too.
Yeah.
But all of that was so good. And it was honestly so simple. Like
Mhm.
we overcomplicate it and we think
Yeah.
like you have to be some crazy rock star with this magic trick to sign distributors, and you don't. You just need to message people. You need to reach out to people. People are liking your posts. You should be messaging them. You should be offering it to
Mhm.
people. Someone offered it to her, someone offered it to me.
Yeah.
So
And
you
that's
just
one
never know.
thing. Yeah, and that's one thing I always remember too. Like, I'm doing a disservice not offering this to people because, just think of what this business has already done for you guys, or, what you see it's done for other people. Like, it, had she never offered this business to me, I would not be living in this brand new apartment that I just moved into a month ago. I would be still hating my freaking life, my jobs, and all the things. So, you want to make sure that you have that in the back of your mind. Like, that next person I could message could be like my next rock star.
Exactly. And that's what I know. I was so scared to message people when I first started
Mhm.
doing that.
Me too.
I would literally get like shaky and like clammy and like so terrified for
Yeah.
some Karen to reply to me. And honestly, those are honestly so rare. Like I never get those messages. The people just don't respond, and that's okay. But eventually you start getting people that are interested. And
Mhm.
you might just be planting a seed. They might say like not right now or something, or they might
Oh
not
yeah.
respond, but then they're going to watch you and they're going to be
Mhm.
curious. And then eventually they're going to reach out when they're ready. I can't tell you how many people I've signed that I asked, got no response, and they came back to me later on. So
Yep.
you literally never know. So why not just send the message? Just send
Yep.
it.
Yep.
Um, okay, let's shift gears a little bit. So I have so many like busy moms, people working and moms, and just busy. And
Yeah.
busy. You were
Yep.
super busy when you started. So I thought you should definitely give us some advice and some tips. And you kind of said it in the beginning, but for people that are just busy, how do you build your business on the side of life and all the things going on?
Okay, so my best suggestion is, first of all, you have to get really, really clear on what your why is. And the reason I say that is because if you do not have a strong why, you're not going to have a reason to push every single day. And so for myself, obviously I needed the income and all these different things. And so what you have to do is you do have to get on a routine. You have to, for myself, I remember years ago, back when I think it was like Amy Spence, she used to have like 6 a.m. power hours. And so I would wake up really early and I would get on early power hours. So that way I could make sure my work was done before I went to work. And so I would be very, very intentional. And also another thing I really want to share with you guys too is if you have a really busy day, like for instance, tomorrow, get some work done tonight. Send out a lot of messages for host post tonight. Don't respond to them. Just get them out tonight. Like send out a ton before bed. Set timers. That's also something that I did a lot is I would set a timer. Okay, for the next 10 minutes, I'm just going to message for host post. That's all I'm going to do. For the next 10 minutes, I'm only going to offer the business. That's all I'm going to do. And when you're so intentional with those times, that's when you're going to start seeing more results. Because I recommend at night, give yourself at least like 30 minutes, a solid 30 minutes. If you have kids, make sure they're in bed, let your, like, if you have a husband, have that like intentional time with them. Like, hey, I'm going to work for 30 minutes. Give me 30 minutes. And then it's going to be us time. And having that clear communication with your family is so crucial, because the reason I say that is I screwed up when I first joined. I was dating somebody and I was on my phone 24/7 when I wasn't working at my million jobs. And it took me a little bit to be intentional with my time, but I was on my phone all the time with him. And over time, he got really annoyed with that because he's like, you're always on your phone when you're with me. So make sure when you're working your business, you're intentional with that time. But then when you're having family time, you're intentional with that. And that's something that really has changed everything for me. Just having that clear communication, like I'm going to work for 30 minutes and then let's have movie night or whatever. So get a lot of work done at night and set the tone of your next day. So if you have a certain schedule, go ahead and have your schedule laid out and get out at least like 30 minutes to an hour of work before you leave the house. And what I would do in between my jobs is I'm one of those people, I would always get to work late, or I would get to work like on time just because I hated being there. But what I started to do is I would try and get there at least just a few minutes early, send out a bunch of messages. I would post on Facebook or Instagram and I would let them know like I'm about to go into work. I would have my coffee in hand or whatever I had. I would post about my products before I go into work, post on my stories. And whenever I was on my bathroom breaks, I took a million bathroom breaks. Okay. They probably thought I had a bladder problem, but I would go to the bathroom. I would send out a ton of messages. I would just be so intentional with those times in between my jobs. And then also, I was also a nanny. So I would pick up one of the kids from the bus stop. When I was standing at the bus stop, I was just sending out messages like crazy. Whenever they would have nap time, or whenever I watched like the baby, I would, be sending messages during nap time. Whenever I had a spare moment, I messaged and I worked my business. Whenever I had a spare moment, whenever I was in the car, if my, boyfriend, fiance, whoever's driving, I'm messaging. I'm so intentional with my time. And so, especially with being a mom, I'm not a mom, but what I will say is, because I have a lot of girls on my team that are also moms, is you have to wake up before your kids, be up before your kids, and stay up past when your kids are asleep. And make sure during those times you're super intentional with your business. But then also, like if you're a stay-at-home mom, work your business maybe during like snack time or something, or while they're doing their homework. Work your business, but don't feel like you have to be on your phone a lot when you're with your kids, because you should spend time with your kids. And so let them know too, like, hey, mommy's going to work for just a few minutes. Send out like 50 messages. You can do that in like 10 minutes. Put your phone down, go spend some time with your kids. And so you have to figure out a schedule for yourself, but also just, you have to train your brain. But whenever you have a split moment, oh, let me go ahead and send out some messages for host post. Oh, let me go ahead and send out some opportunity messages. Make sure it's like mindless things that you don't even think about. And then actual like interaction. Don't do interaction during those times. Do interaction when you're just like chilling, like, you know what I mean? Like you want to make sure that you're super intentional with those few minutes. Message. And if you're messaging a lot for host posts at night, you're going to wake up the next morning, have all these people ready to host posts for you, have those posts up, enjoy your day with work or mom life. And then in those little moments, you're going to get random messages back and you can just quickly respond, spend time with your kids. So that's my best advice is, and also you can pre-plan your post too. That's another thing that I would do a lot is, whenever I would be in the car, like right before I go into work, if something crossed my mind, like a post idea, I would go ahead and put it in my notes section. So that way I had all these posts like pre-planned for the week. And whenever I had a moment, like 2 minutes to post, I would just go ahead and post it really quick. So that way it was already typed out. But you guys, if y'all saw my notes section right now, I have so many pre-planned posts, like it's not even funny. And also once you're in the business for a while too, I go to my memories and I will see what I posted it a year ago and I will kind of use that as well. So I hope that helps.
Yes, all such good advice. That's so funny because literally yesterday I screenshotted a post I made a year ago because it was so good. And I was like, oh, I'm going to use this again. I just might
Yeah.
change a couple things. So you can recycle things.
Mhm.
And like, this is exactly what she said at the beginning. When you are busy, you're more intentional and you get more done. It's easier to be disciplined because you only have 5 minutes or 10 minutes or,
Mhm.
you have limited time. So you make it count. Whereas now, like, we're home full time, it's a lot harder. Like I am intentional, but it's still like it's a lot harder knowing I have a full day, even though I have to be a mom throughout the day too and do all that. But I have to set my boundaries and alarms and make sure I have times where I'm very intentional or else I will let the day get away from me.
Mhm.
So just being on top of it and just that word intentional will change everything for you. And I swear I went double diamond by bathroom breaks, getting to work
Yep.
15 minutes early, and on my lunch break at work, I literally scarfed down my food and just messaged and
That's
said,
exactly what I did too, is whenever I would have my lunch breaks at work as well too, like I would just scarf down my food really quick and just be messaging like crazy. And also another thing too is whenever there is a power hour and you're able to get on, get on. Get on. Power hours is literally like if it wasn't for power hours, I would have never promoted. Like they changed everything for me too.
yeah, there's just something about being like, since this business is so lonely and you're working by yourself most of the time, whenever you have an opportunity to just be on a Zoom with other
Mhm.
people working, it sounds silly in the beginning. I remember being like, what are we doing? But then I realized like you're just more intentional because you're with people. So it's so helpful to just like get on Zoom, even if it's just one person, and just sit down and work together. You're
Mhm.
you'll just get more done. Such good tips. So good. So, okay, now what's your advice to someone that feels like they might be like stuck or they're in a rut? Maybe they've lost rank. You've gone through all of those things. So, what would you say to them?
My best advice is, of course, do not isolate yourself. Make sure that you're still staying plugged in with your team. And because at the end of the day, like whenever you're going through something, it's easy to isolate yourself, it's easy to shut down. But what you really need to do is you need to at least stay plugged in with at least a couple people on your team. And also, major self development. You have to do self development because if it wasn't for self development and listening to other Zooms and hearing other leaders speak, I would have probably, I mean, and same with conference, like make sure that you do have your conference ticket because literally, even though it's virtual, and also if you have people around you, like if you have any team that is local to you or that you can get with, make sure you're connecting with those people because that is literally going to change everything for you. It's going to give you that boost of confidence. But also another thing is too is I recommend reading the book You Could Do Hard Things by Sherry Lynn Ocala. That book literally changed my life. So amazing. And another one is I actually developed really bad anxiety last year. And it was, we all went through a hard year. But the book that really changed my life for my anxiety and gave me more belief was Winning the War in Your Mind. And I know a lot of leaders talk about that by Craig Rochelle. Literally, that book changed me. It changed me. And I know it sounds so silly that a book, but get your hands on some self-development books. There's so many different ones that can help you. And also just, figure out what brings you joy. If this business isn't giving you joy, maybe you're sad, maybe something's going on in your business, maybe somebody left your team. Remember why you joined. Remember back on that day that you pressed submit. Remember why you actually decided to say yes to this business because, that's why you have to have a strong why. Your why is going to constantly change throughout your entire business and in your life. I know mine's changed so much. I mean, it started for extra couple $100, and then I was planning a wedding, and then obviously that didn't work out. But then my why transitioned to me being home full time. And now I'm actually planning my legit wedding. And, now I have my own home. And, it's just one of those things you have to figure out what's next as well, too. And I challenge you guys to do a visualization meditation. Go on YouTube, do meditations, do a visualization meditation, and really visualize where do you want your life to be in the next 6 months to a year. Where do you see yourself in the next 5 years? What do you want for your family and your kids? Like, really figure out exactly what you want. Do your self-development, stay plugged in, and you just have to get that excitement back. You have to, or it's not like you're going to continue to suffer. And so just know that like we love you, and just know that like you have a bigger purpose, and you weren't here as a one-hit wonder. You have a bigger purpose on this earth, and there's people waiting for you. And just remember that like even if you have one person on your team, they look up to you. And so don't give up on them, but just stay so plugged in with your team. And it doesn't even have to be business talk. Talk with your team as friends, build that relationship with people, and you're going to get that excitement going again too.
Yes, definitely. I've gone through so many like valleys and ruts and those moments where you're like, what do I do now? And I can tell you every time it's been the personal development that I'm doing that pulls me out of it. And it's a lot of like reflection of what do I need right now? Why do I feel this way? What is missing? And then I go seek out those books, those podcasts, those YouTubes, and I fill my cup up with those specific things because I
Yeah.
know that's what I needed. And so that's how you're going to get yourself out of those moments. And like you said, staying plugged in, being around people that are excited and on fire, it's going to rub off on you. So don't just not show up to things because you don't feel like it anymore and you're feeling stuck. You need to show up to things because you don't feel like it and you're stuck.
Yeah.
It's more important in those moments. Okay, so what would you tell yourself if you could go back to the beginning when you first joined? What would you tell yourself?
Go all in. Don't put one foot in and one foot out. Don't be scared. And just I mean, at the end of the day, like I wish I worked harder. I really, really do. And I wish I joined sooner. And I wish that I just did all the things, because back then, like, I thought I was working hard, but I really wasn't. Like, I wasn't messaging much people. I wasn't writing people's names down. I just didn't have the confidence within myself. And I wish I did a lot of self development back then too, because I know I would be an even better person now. And so, just continue to be excited, never give up, work really hard, and, just be willing to step outside of my comfort zone, because the thing is it's so easy to stay in your comfort zone. It's so easy to close yourself off and just like stick to what you're used to. But I would tell myself, like, girl, you're about to change so many lives, and you're about to change your own life. And knowing like this is God's plan for myself, you know, this is the platform that he's placed me in. And, I'm doing a disservice not sharing this with other people. And so I would have offered the business to a lot more people in the beginning as well too. And just been myself. I felt like in the beginning, I didn't know what to post because I wasn't a mom. My upline was a mom, and I compared myself a lot too. And so, put your blinders on, you guys. Do not compare. Do not look left and right. Don't see what this person's posting and what's this person doing. When I really had my head down and I went double diamond within a year, it was because I had my blinders on. I just focused on what I wanted. And then I started to evolve. What does my team want? So blinders on, no comparison, go all in, and it pays off for sure.
So good. I'd say the same things. I held myself back way too long. And now looking back, I'm like, I can't believe I was scared of that. I can't believe I had all these fears. And I was so in my little bubble. I was so scared to come out of it. And I really wish I would have done it sooner. But I figured it out because I didn't give up. So I would say the same things. Okay, do you have any last like tips or inspiration, anything you want to give anyone that's running for their promotions right now?
My best suggestion is, if you haven't already, get your chart out. You need to make sure you have a full roadmap on knowing exactly what you need. And also, if you're not yet a diamond, or maybe you're not like a super strong diamond leader, make sure to reach up to your upline, reach up to Leanne or whoever your leader is. Make sure you're reaching out to them and letting them know, hey, this is what I'm going after this month, and having such clear communication with your team. So first off, make sure you have your chart out, figure out exactly how many distributors do you need, how much volume do you need, and breaking it down by week or even by day. Like, this is our goal for each day, this is our goal for each week, and being so specific on those goals. And also another thing too is go live on Facebook. I have girls on my team that are terrified to go live on Facebook, and I'm like, well, guess what? That's what's going to help you step into that next version of yourself, because I have signed so many people from going live on Facebook. I forgot to share that earlier. I actually felt it on my heart. I needed to go live on Facebook like 2 nights ago. I haven't been live on Facebook in a while, and I shared my story, and I had like 3 strong potential distributors from that. I have one girl that's joining the business tomorrow from it. And so make sure you go live. Be loud and proud about what your goal is, and do not wait until the 25th to promote, because I've done that way too many times. I will slack off majority of the month, and it's like the last like 5 days, I'm like, holy crap, I gotta work. And like, I literally about like killing myself like the last few months. And so do not procrastinate for your promotion. Work every day as if it's your last day of the month, and just stay so focused. So get your chart out, figure out exactly what you need, have clear communication with your team, figure out who your runners are, and just lock arms with them, stay plugged in, get on Zooms with them on a consistent basis. And another thing too is just go all in. If you're right now maybe just doing 1 or 2 host posts up a day, challenge yourself to more than double that every single day. Give yourself those small wins like Leanne was sharing earlier. Focus on getting your 5 LCs every single week, and get excited for your newbies and help them do that exact same thing too, because that's what I've been doing is with my new girls, my brand new distributors. I have 2 brand new girls that have both already earned $100 weekly bonuses. And it's just because I'm sharing excitement to them. I'm like, girl, let's go ahead and get your 5 customers by Friday. Let's get you, this $100 bonus. I know this is going to help you and your family. Have that excitement, constantly have excitement, keep your chat super happy going, shout out your people, shout out and have recognition for your team. People love recognition. And so, just be excited. And when you know exactly what you need on your roadmap, and you're doing your self-development every day, and you're journaling, and you're having that excitement and belief within yourself, it's going to happen. But you have to believe it every single day. And you're going to have some days where it's going to come in the back of your mind like, oh, that's not going to happen. Or it might be the 25th of the month and you're like, holy crap, I'm still so far away. You better push to the finish line. I don't care if you're still like 1,000 volume away on the last day. You hustle until that last minute, because had I not done that, I would have never promoted. And so my best advice is do not wait till the last minute to push for your promotion. Work hard every single day. Give yourself little goals for each day or each week. Do your KPI every single day, you guys, and you're going to get there. You're going to hit that goal. And at the end of the day, when it hits the last day of the month and it hits 12:50, well, I'm Eastern time, so 12:59 Eastern, and I missed it. Who cares? You have the next month. All right, it's happening this month, and every single month announce that you're going after this promotion. Share it on social media. I'm only this amount of orders away from this promotion. I'm only this way, this far away, or however, whatever, you know what I'm saying? Like my brain is so fried tonight. But let people know how far away you are, because you're gonna be surprised how many people are gonna flood in. They're gonna flood and they're gonna be like, oh my gosh, you need just a couple more orders. Girl, I got you. And pray over your business. You guys literally pray over your business, because when I went triple, it was the second to last day of the month. I signed 11 customers in one day, and it was like they were coming out of nowhere. But it was also because I was very, very consistent. Every single day I was consistent. I was constantly posting. I was doing all the things. And so make sure you're consistent. I don't know why I didn't say that. Make sure you're consistent. Post every day, message every day, but have fun overall. Have fun with this, and don't beat yourself up if you don't hit a certain goal each day or every week. Don't beat yourself on it. It is what it is. That's what my fiance always says. It is what it is. And so just figure out on what you can do next. What can you do now? And just get excited, you guys, because you literally can hit any goal that you want this month. It's just a matter of making the decision, like, am I going to go after it, or am I going to let another month go by that I'm just going to stay where I am?
So good. I hope y'all just took notes because it was amazing. And at the end of the day, literally just do what you know you're supposed to be doing consistently and you'll get there. Whether it's this month or next year, doesn't matter. And it took me 5 years to go triple diamond. But do you think I care? Do you think I'm like, oh my gosh, I didn't hit it in my first 2 years? Like, no, I don't care. It does not matter because I'm making way more money than I would have ever made at my previous job. So who cares if it takes you a year to hit diamond or 2 years or 3 years? Who cares? If it's important to you, it's still going to be important to you next month. So that's what really matters. Thank you, Kaitlyn, so much for all of your advice, all of your tips. Everything you shared tonight was just so amazing. I'll have this up on my YouTube either tonight or in the morning. So thank you guys. Thank you, everybody, for getting on. Have a wonderful night.
Thank you. Bye, you guys.